Amber Heard could not be with us for this segment after...
she's busy.
She's busy. We'll call it... yeah. So, welcome back to the first fit ever video segment of the B Movies podcast.
Part 2.
Where we are picking our picks for the Academy Awards, what will win, what should win, and the loser in this particular wager is going to have to eat 3 large lemons while reciting the Gettysburg Address next week at Crave Online. Right now, we're on Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role. This is a very interesting category this year. Everyone nominated has won before. Which is often a big thing. Like, oh, they've won before, they don't need another one. This time, they've all won before, and it's kind of a weird race. There's not necessarily a big front runner. There's Alan Arkin for Argo, Robert De Niro for Silver Linings Playbook, Philip Seymour Hoffman for The Master, Tommy Lee Jones for Lincoln, and Christoph Waltz for Django Unchained.
Okay. I think Tommy Lee Jones ought to win. He was the conscience. He should win. He is sort of the conscience of that movie, and if he does win, I wouldn't be too surprised.
He gets one of the film's big moments. He gets this big speech,
where
he gets to compromise his own integrity in order to do the right thing, and that's a big Oscar moment. Yeah.
However, I think the Oscar, and this is sort of a long shot. This is the reason I'm going to lose this bet. Yes. I'm going to put my money on Robert De Niro.
Yeah, put your money on Robert De Niro.
Because again,
you're putting De Niro on Robert De Niro.
So yeah, I think Robert De Niro. He has a great speech in Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
He plays a quirky guy, which eschews his older personality of sort of a tough guy.
Yeah.
He has all of the screen presence required for a really great supporting role.
And he hasn't won in forever,
he hasn't won, and again, he hasn't won in forever.
For like the last 10
and again,
years.
It's sort of like a legacy vote. These are all legacy votes because they're all previous winners. But I think it's De Niro's legacy this year.
Yeah. I agree. I think he has a major shot. I think this is kind of anyone's race. I actually think Tommy Lee Jones will win.
Okay.
Again, for all the same reasons you just said, and I think Lincoln's going to get shut out of a lot of categories thanks to Argo. But this is a good place to reward it. But I think the person who should win is Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master.
Okay.
And I think he does have a shot because I think a lot of people would be pissed about that.
Well, you don't think that it's one of those vague performances where you're not really sure where the character is coming from?
No, I think I know exactly where the character is coming from. He's a guy who leads a cult. He's telling people, he's giving people a path and a direction in life who we discover in the quiet moments throughout the film and some of his exchanges with Joaquin Phoenix, he's just as lost as they are. I think that is he's just faking it better. And I think that's a very interesting character, and I think Philip Seymour Hoffman gets a lot out of it. So I think it's an incredible performance. I don't even know why Alan Arkin is nominated.
I think you're eating lemons, sir.
Oh, you think I'm eating lemons?
No, I'm going to eat lemons.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't know why Alan Arkin is nominated for Argo. He's just playing Alan Arkin.
Well, consider why Argo is being nominated for any awards at all. Because it's about movies.
It's because it's about how
the whole
awesome
movie
Hollywood
angle.
Producers are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Alan Arkin is the producer in that movie.
Yeah,
we're going to give him the award.
I just don't see much of an acting.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins just because of all the goodwill toward Argo.
All right, Best Achievement in Music, Written for Motion Pictures, Original Score.
Original score. What did I do
Dario Marianelli for Anna Karenina, Alexandra Desplat for Argo, Michael Dana for Life of Pi, John Williams for Lincoln, Thomas Newman for Skyfall. Yes, I know I pronounced Alexandra Desplat's name.
My money is going to Michael Dana for Life of Pi, again, because it's going to sort of sweep the background, technical sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It had great, sort of an unusual score, not the sort of John Williams bombast.
Yeah.
John Williams is nominated as a matter of course these days.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's going to get nominated for Lincoln. I guess the score was fine, but I think Life of my gut says go with Life of Pi.
Yeah. All right. Well, I actually think this is going to go to Alexandre Desplat for Argo.
Okay.
That's my pick. I've decided that. I watched Argo again last night, and the score kind of stands out. I think the people that are going to award it, it's big, like woo, America. But I actually think John Williams should win this for Lincoln.
Okay.
I think he should. I think this is actually because he really overdid Amistad, a film about basically the same kind of material. And Lincoln is a much more reserved.
Everybody overdid Amistad.
Yes.
Hilarious.
But, again, he overdid all the speeches and everything in Amistad, John Williams. And I think in Lincoln, I think he played it just right. I think the only time he really oversells anything is when he oversells something that's kind of ironic, which is that Tommy Lee Jones speech we were talking about, where it's a speech that isn't all good. It's actually really complicated. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting musical choice. So that would be my pick.
Okay.
Whitney, take us through screenwriting categories.
See, best writing screenplay based. This is adapted screenplay.
Yes.
Chris Terrio for Argo, Lucy Alibar and Ben Zeitlin for Beasts of the Southern Wild, David McGee for Life of Pi, Tony Kushner for Lincoln, David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook. Tony Kushner should win for Lincoln.
Yes, he should.
That is an awesome screenplay. Adapted screenplay, however, is going to go to Argo.
Yeah.
Again, more goodwill.
Yeah.
It's just a juggernaut at this point in my mind. We'll see what happens Oscar night, but I think because it's political, Hollywood loves political screenplays so long as it doesn't focus on politics of the day.
Yeah.
So it's
like, yes, remember the Iran hostage scandal? That was bad.
It's important and political, but it has nothing to do with our daily lives because it's about the Carter administration.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to be awarded. I think, however, Tony Kushner, a gay man, kind of staged the passing of the 13th Amendment as just civil rights in general, which in an outsider way relates directly to gay rights of today.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting and complicated. And he makes it entertaining and fun.
It's a great screenplay. He's a great screenwriter. He's done some great plays in the past. I think he deserves the Oscar, but I don't think he'll win. I
actually think he will. He's my pick in this category. I do think Argo is a tough juggernaut to beat. That said, I think the weakest part of Argo is the script. I think Argo is kind of a crap script.
You could say that, but again,
I can and do say that.
This is the Oscars. They're not necessarily giving it to the best.
This is the one where I just can't bring myself to say that to give Argo more credit. Okay. I just think it's a very standard. Here are these guys. We got to get them out of that country, and we're going to tack on some Hollywood stuff and add a bunch of really fake-seeming. Sort of like, oh no, the president hasn't signed off on this, even though in real life he signed off on it immediately and there were no problems. It's just feels like they're really polishing, not a turd, It's not a turd. I actually like Argo. It's not bad.
Turd.
They're polishing like a scratch and sniff card that has some turd on it. Oh, it smells like turd.
That is one of the worst analogies you could have possibly come up with.
I don't think Argo is bad. I just think it's a very slim, slight movie, and I don't think that script deserves to be lauded above Lincoln for it.
Okay.
All I see is the fakeness.
Okay.
When I see it. Best writing, screenplay written directly for the screen, a.k.a. original screenplay for everyone else out there. Nominees are Michael Haneke for Amour, Quentin Tarantino for Django Unchained, John Gatins for Flight, Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola for Moonrise Kingdom, and Mark Boal for Zero Dark 30. Now, this is a tough category because I think before the controversy, I think Zero Dark 30 would have been the forerunner in this.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people are kind of mad about Zero Dark 30 and how it didn't flat out have a speech about torture is wrong. And, it's more complicated than that. But I don't think it's going to get rewarded for it, even though I think it should. I think Django Unchained, I think a lot of people liked it, but I don't think the screenplay is what everyone's rallying around.
Yeah, Tarantino's still a tough sell, even though he's sort of like the one sort of outsider Hollywood darling these days. I don't think he's going to get... No.
I think Flight is just not a very good movie. I think it's just really, really blunt at best.
How about screenplay? The Academy likes their blunt screenplays.
They certainly do. If it were me, if I were voting, I think who should win is Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola for
sure.
Really one of Wes Anderson's very best films. Moonrise Kingdom is very, very funny. But the more I watch it, the more I see the richness of the characters and the story that's going on. But actually, who I think will win is Michael Haneke for Amour. I think it's got a shot because the Academy is not afraid to give this award to a foreign film. A Separation was nominated last year. What was that bullfighting movie? It was Talk to Her.
Oh yeah,
Talk to Her won a few years ago.
Almodovar movie.
And this is a movie that is about dying of old age and how horrible that is, and it really nails it. It's really, really awful. It's miserable to watch it. And I think this is where you award that.
I want Michael Haneke to win. No, I want Michael Haneke to win. I think he should win. I think that's a brilliant screenplay. I think Zero Dark 30 is going to win.
Yeah, despite everything.
Despite everything, Hollywood likes to give the award to sort of the so-called complex screenplay. Though essentially, the movie that's hardest to follow always gets at least a nomination. Think of something like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Think of something like L.A. Confidential.
Yeah.
These
so this is that film.
I think this is that film this year. I think it's going to win the complexity vote. Also, because I don't think it's going to get too many other awards. I think they're going to give it to.
I'm actually predicting a total snub for Zero Dark 30 across.
You think so? Okay.
I think so. I don't think it's going to win anything. Okay, so let's go to the awards that no one cares about. Best short film live action. You should care about this because these are great films. Brian Buckley and Mino Jarjoura for Assad. Sam French and Ariel Nazer for Buzkashi Boys. Sean Christensen for Curfew. Tom Van Avermaet and Ellen DeWale, or DeVale,
To cite all of these
for Death
names.
of a Shadow,
Death of a
and Jan
Shadow.
England for Henry. And the film that I think will win and should win is the film that I almost hate myself for liking. It's called Curfew. It is about a troubled man. He's a drug addict. He's suicidal, and he has to babysit his niece, and she's so precocious.
It's like 11 years old.
And she changes his life around, and it's really good.
And it's actually really good.
It shouldn't be. Like, if that was like a movie starring Dakota Fanning in like 2001, you'd hate this movie. But as a short film, it's
I saw
really
I Am
energetic.
Sam too.
Hi-oh! That has nothing to do with it. But the point is, it really works. It really sings in the short format. It's really good, and I think it stands out amongst those films as just really energetic, lovable filmmaking.
Ditto.
Ditto.
That's all I have to say.
Fair enough.
Curfew is the best of those films, and I also think it'll win.
Okay. Best documentary short subject: Sean Fine and Andrew Nix for Innocente. Innocente.
Innocente.
Sarah Gilman and Jed Wider for King's Point. I'm just going to make up how to pronounce these things. Cynthia Wade and Robin Honan for Mondays at Racine. Keith Davidson and Corey Shepard-Stern for Open Heart. And John Alpert and Matthew O'Neill for Redemption. These are depressing movies.
These are all pretty depressing-ass movies. They're all about dying or some sort of
homelessness,
horrible
or
hardship.
open heart
cancer,
surgeries that might fail in the Sudan.
In the short categories, I've noticed in both the documentary and the live action, the outlier is typically the winner. If there's like 4 depressing ones in a comedy, the comedy wins.
So
4 comedies in the depressing one. Yeah. This one, the most hopeful one, is Innocente, which is, of course, about homelessness, but it's about this girl who is so strong and so willing that it actually feels kind of hopeful. I think it'll go to that one.
Fair enough. And it's good.
I don't want to waste too much more time on that.
I wouldn't be mad if it won. If I were voting, I think I'd vote for Mondays at Racine. It's a very heartbreaking story about
old age.
No, you're thinking of King's Point.
Oh no, that's the cancer one.
It's the cancer one.
It's the cancer one.
Mondays at Racine is about women suffering from breast cancer who like all convene at a
beauty shop.
Yeah. And it's a really gut-wrenching look at that aspect of life. But I think it's going to go to Open Heart. I think Open Heart is it's a crowd pleaser despite the fact that it's about really depressing issues. It's got interesting characters, and it's got open heart surgery, which just makes it the most messed up one
You
of
refer
all.
to the people in a documentary film as characters.
Yes. He's a character.
What a character.
Best short film animated. Mink-You Lee for Adam and Dog. Pez for Fresh Guacamole. Timothy Reckard and Phola Cronin O'Reilly for Head Over Heels. John Cars for Paperman, and David Silverman for The Simpsons, The Longest Daycare.
Right. I already voted on this, so I have to say that Adam and Dog is going to win.
You think so?
I think it will. It's a revolutionary animation style. Again, like I said with the feature in our last clip.
It's about it's the Adam and Eve story told from the perspective of a dog in the Garden of Eden. It's a really incredible story.
And there's no dialogue. It's really fantastic. In fact, none of the shorts have any dialogue.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's a lot of goodwill for Paperman, which is the Disney film. Which it showed before Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah,
in fact.
that's the one
so
people
a lot of people have seen it, so that might
that one and the
get
Simpsons one, people
the
actually
votes.
know it.
I would like it to be Head Over Heels or even Fresh Guacamole, but I think Adam and Dog is the winner.
Yeah, I think Adam and Dog has a real shot at this, but I do think it's going to go to Paperman because they're in love. And the paper airplanes want them to be in love, and the music makes it so. I actually don't think it's that good. But I do think it's going to win.
Really tell us how you really feel.
I think it's going to win. Paperman's fine. I just don't buy the ending. I think it's really overblown. Head Over Heels is magical, and that's the one I think that should win. It's about an old man and an old woman living in the same house but in different worlds.
It's not going to win.
That's why I didn't say it's gonna. I think it should. I do think it's wonderful though, and you should definitely see it.
Let's
move on to. Oh, we are almost out of here. Let's move on to Oscar for Best Directing.
Ooh, Best Directing.
Interesting category
Michael
this year.
Haneke for Amour, Ong Lee for Life of Pi, David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook.
That's David O. Russell, not David O. Russell.
David O. Russell. Stephen O. Spielberg for Lincoln, and Bain Zeitlin for Beasts of the Southern Wild.
And not notably Ben Affleck.
Notably not Ben Affleck.
Even though Argo is supposedly front for Best Picture, so this could go to anyone.
Could go to anyone. Spielberg should win. Michael Haneke should also win. My money's on Michael Haneke.
You think Michael Haneke is going to win Best Director
the guy who did
for
funny,
Amour?
For Funny Games because that is such a devastating and
you
wonderful
are going to lose
and
this
wonderfully
bet.
made. Yes, I am. I always make a mistake by voting with my heart, and I'm voting with my heart in the directing
Whitney's
category.
heart is for crap.
And I'm voting for Michael Haneke in Amour because it was a brilliant directing job.
It
Period.
is,
That's all I need to say. He is a brilliant director. He's an important auteur of our time.
Yeah.
He is probably the most important director to have come up like in the last decade or so.
Wow.
Who else can you think of? Charlie Kaufman, Lars von Trier, who else? Michael Haneke's one of them, and I think this is his due. This is an important. Also, it's a movie about old people. The people who vote for this are old people.
Yeah.
So I think
are you going to send him like clippings of like your eyelashes or something, just to get this love affair started? I mean, I'm starting to worry about you.
No, I love Michael Haneke.
Okay.
I want him to win, and voting with my heart, I think he's going to.
I don't think he has a chance in hell. I think this is going to go to Steven Spielberg, and frankly, I think it should go to Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I think this is his best directing work in many, 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 many years. I think a lot of people have accused Lincoln of getting a little maudlin at the beginning and at the end, and I think that's brilliant because it frames a more interesting, complex story about Lincoln's life within these major historical bullet points that we were all expecting.
Yeah.
And it shows you this is what happened between the cracks, and it's much more interesting and important. I think it's really accomplished work from Spielberg. I think it's some of his best. Best actor in a leading role, Bradley Cooper for Silver Linings Playbook, Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, Hugh Jackman for Les Miserables, Joaquin Phoenix for The Master, and Denzel Washington for Flight. It's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, okay.
No argument.
Will win, should win. We're at. Well, I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix, I did love, but like
I'm sure he's fine. Daniel Day-Lewis.
You're sure he's fine. Best achievement by an actress in a leading role. Now this one's actually a tough one.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30, Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook, Emmanuel Riva for Amour, Kuvanjane Wallace for Beasts of the Southern Wild, and Naomi Watts for The Impossible. This could go to Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Lawrence, or Emmanuel Riva really easily.
There's always the ingenue vote we have to consider.
They love to
Consider
give 20-something-year-old
people like
Gwyneth Paltrow,
Reese Witherspoon, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Natalie Portman.
Yeah. These. No offense to any of those women, but they're not yet great actresses. They're good actresses. They're pretty good actresses.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the Best Actress category is more likely to go to someone younger than any other category in the acting.
But at the same time, there's the legacy vote to consider. There's the older person, the sort of person who's either been around.
The Helen Mirren vote, the Susan Sarandon vote.
Or even, sort of the... like the Jim Broadbent vote, like for the movie Iris. Nobody saw Iris, but he won an Academy Award for that.
Yeah, because he's Jim frickin' Broadbent. He's awesome.
I'm going to skew for the legacy of this and give it to Emmanuel Riva.
What is her
Amour.
legacy? Do you think people know her from other films?
Not that they know her, just that she's been working for a long time. She's the oldest person to ever have been nominated. And,
in this category.
And she is devastatingly great in Amour.
She is. She's amazing.
She is amazing. So I'm going to put my money on Emmanuel Riva.
And you think she should win as well?
I think she should win. I'm going to regret this because I know that Jennifer Lawrence is going to beat me with her Oscar when she has it.
Oh my God, yes. Jennifer Lawrence is going to cream the comedy. This is what I honestly think. I don't think she should. She's good in Silver Linings Playbook. I like Silver Linings Playbook quite a bit. I don't think it's amazing. I liked it quite a bit. But she's got this wonderful, she's quirky and she's got some mental health issues, but she's working through them. And it's just a really conventional role that she does really, really well. And I think given how depressing some of these other movies are, I think she's just going to we just watched Amour. Yeah. Oh, we just watched Zero Dark 30. Oh, we just watched Beasts of the Southern Wild. Oh, thank God for this comedy. And I think she's going to stand out.
Okay.
Emmanuel Riva was amazing. If I were voting, I'd be voting for Jessica Chastain. I think she did a lot with a character who's really, really complicated and has to play it almost all under the surface so that when she finally speaks up like twice in the movie, it's cheer-inducing.
She only has like 2 moments.
She's incredible. She's absolutely incredible.
I don't think she's going to win. It's a little too vague a role. But
I wouldn't be shocked if she does, but I don't think she's going to. All right, best song.
Skyfall. Put your money on Skyfall.
Should Skyfall.
The fun song hardly ever wins, but I think this year I think Skyfall is the fun one, and I think it will win. That's it. That's it. Skyfall.
Yeah. Visual effects.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi.
No argument on Life of Pi.
We're not even going to bother you with the nominees. The Academy likes to vote for the film that they don't have to feel embarrassed to write down on a ballot.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless there are no artsy films
it's
nominated,
up against like big like action
The Avengers
pictures,
and Prometheus, and those are all amazing movies and arguably even
great
have better
special
visual effects.
Yeah.
But, Life of Pi is the one that uses them to more artistic effect. And Best Picture. Best Picture of the
Best
year.
Picture, can we just say it?
Okay, let's give them credit. They were nominated.
For some nominees.
Okay. Amour. Congratulations
Best
on your
Picture.
nomination.
Great idea, Amour. All right, surprising.
Argo. We'll get to you. Beasts of the Southern Wild, congratulations on your nomination. Django Unchained, congratulations on your nomination.
It was an honor just to be nominated.
Les Miserables, you were so close. This was almost your year. Life of Pi.
You could have done it in a crappier year.
Life of Pi, congratulations on your nomination. Lincoln, we'll get to you in a second. Silver Linings Playbook, congratulations on the nomination. Zero Dark 30, you got rooked. Zero Dark 30, you were the best movie of this year, and you really, really, really should have been at least a front runner, and now you're not, and it's crap.
No, it's not.
This is between Lincoln and Argo.
And Lincoln.
Yeah.
And Argo, I think, is going to be the winner here.
You think so?
Which is a little unusual because it's not up for Best Director.
Yes. It also doesn't have the most nominations, which is really rare.
Which is really rare.
Yeah.
But it has, and if you had asked me a couple months ago, I would have said Lincoln, no contest. And Lincoln was on my top 10. Argo wasn't.
Yeah.
Lincoln is a really great movie for all the things we've been talking about. And but Argo has built up so much goodwill and has won so many other awards, and I hear the most about it and see the most publicity about it, that it will definitely win. And that's happened in previous years. I saw a lot about Shakespeare in Love back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I saw ads on TV during Saturday morning saying how great a movie it was, like half-hour specials on Shakespeare in Love, and it won. It was a big sort of marketing push. And
again, the Academy wants to reward itself for having done something important.
Important. So
I mean, the film ends. I mean,
here's a movie
spoiler.
about,
the film ends with like action figures and saying like, Hollywood's so freaking amazing.
Yeah,
Look at all these action
great?
movies, all these dumb movies. And it makes you think that like behind every dumb movie you've ever heard of, someone was being like saved.
If you ever loved
by
Planet of the Apes or Star Trek: The Motion Picture,
yeah,
then you are a hero.
Yeah, basically. That's what.
And so it's Hollywood congratulating itself because a movie did something great and also political real world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Argo.
Yeah. I still think Lincoln's got a shot. I don't think it's a runaway.
Lincoln's going to be a close second, but it's not going to win.
No, I agree. I think Argo's going to win. I think Lincoln. I think Zero Dark 30 should win. Wouldn't be mad if Lincoln.
I think Lincoln or Amour should win. Amour's no chance in hell. That's ninth of 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Lincoln is definitely close second. I think it should.
Okay.
But it's going to be Argo. Put your money on Argo. And if you win, we expect a cut of your winnings.
That's right.
If you lose, we take no responsibility.
That's right. Actually, and if we lose, we eat 3 lemons while reciting the Gettysburg Address.
That's
All right, so we'll be back next week with the results and the utter shame.
And imagine if like we both get this totally wrong. Like
if we tie, we both have to do it.
If we tie, we both have to do it. That's important to note.
Yes. All right, so that's it. We'll see you next week with the results. And never forget, we're smarter than you.
Yeah, I got the big tub with the big stir. And, oh, hang on, Amber Heard's coming.
Go.
Excuse me.
I want to go to the midnight show. I'm sorry, what?